Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Back to Bible on Audio, where I just read it aloud and you can follow along or take a listen. I'm hoping that you keep building on your relationship with God in the Word, spending time praying, meditating, of course, communing with other people that are like-minded. Today I got kind of like hit in the, or slapped across the face with my son. I don't know how the conversation went, but I said, hold on one second. I got so these lipstick on my teeth. So, but we were talking about God, and I don't know if it was just because he's upset. He said he doesn't believe in God, and I said, don't you say that, and I could say that because he's my only child, and if anybody's gonna worry about where you spend eternity, it's your mother and your father. And I was serious about it. And I said, don't you say that. Don't you say that there's no God, because I'd rather you, take your time and still try to figure things out, and then there's hope. But if you make that definite decision now, it could be a detrimental one. It could be one that just seals the deal. And because I believe God is real, your fate would be in hell. And I don't want to imagine anybody in hell. And so to you, I just encourage you that other people are struggling too. Just because I'm on here reading doesn't mean I have all the answers. And I in no way have a perfect life. And as I get older, I'm finding I like solitude. So I'm losing more and more people that could probably support me and help raise up somebody that's having a bad day, because that one makes me sad. I have a nephew who's atheist, at least he says. And so I'm going to be praying for them really hard, that they don't veer too far, that their hearts don't harden. And so to you, just know that God sees you in the Word. Have faith that he does care and he loves you. He created you, and he created you in his image. And then he loved us so much. He loved you so much. He sent his only son, who was perfect, by the way, perfect without sin. I can't imagine that. Perfect without sin, to suffer. He suffered persecution. They beat him, where they scrape your skin with weapons that are made of like tight glass, nails, and just different things that'll break your skin open. And then they made him carry a cross up to Calvary. And there he died, an innocent man. Pontius Pilate had washed his hands of him. And his last words were, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And nowhere does he turn away from what he knew was his purpose. He knew his fate. And he said to the disciples, get back from me. Basically with that sin, I've told you my Father's plan, and that's what has to be carried out. And so he never veered from that. He knew that was going to be the end goal. He knew what his fate was, and it wasn't going to be easy. He spent a lot of time alone in prayer with God. I think, I'm not for certain, but I think there was one circumstance where he does, but it wasn't highlighted. It's not highlighted in the book so much because it was very small. It was very small when you compare it to how much he did take on for us. He took on everything for you. So I pray that if you are having trouble, just stay encouraged. Just know that you're doing better every time you pick up the Bible. Every time you talk about God, you're growing a bit in your relationship with him. And then just talk to him. Be comfortable enough. That's why he died. So we don't have to go make a sacrifice. We don't have to burn things at the altar. You go right to God. You just bow your head and say, God, if you're there, please, he knows you're there already, but he is listening. And if you have a situation like I'm facing, where two people in my house, one is a boyfriend, he's my partner, I think, but we're struggling because I asked him too one day. I said, when are we gonna just change and just go all in for God? Don't you want to? And he motioned for me to come over and hugged me and held me a little bit, just a little rare, but he knows that this topic makes me upset. And he told me, as best as he could, and without holding back, no, I told you, I'm not ready for that. And so I'm supposed to be proud of my belief. I grew up loving God. singing praises. My best friend in high school, she was the pastor's daughter, and she was a good influence on me. I made all the bad choices on my own, being alone. So I don't know what to say. I just always thought at this point in my life, my family, my home would be one of peace, one of God's presence, one where you walk in and you just feel at home. You feel the energy. It's the energy of love. It's the energy that we eat at the table. We have conversations. We say good morning. We hug each other and we say, God bless you on your trip, and I'll see you when you get home. I love you. I'm very sad because it's not happening. And it may never happen for me, but I'll pray it for you. And don't give up on those people that just aren't sure. We can't be annoying because God's a gentleman too. I mean, he is. That's why there's free will. He says he will make us make the choices that we want in life. That's free will, but he does, the caveat to that is that there's still that question. Did you accept him in your life? Did you, or did you turn away from God? So that's all I would say. All I will say on that. Okay. So let's go ahead and bow our heads for a quick prayer and we'll go into 17. Father God, I'm humbled today because I have no answers for some of the questions that I asked my child, and his responses don't always sit well. In fact, as a parent, and for the viewer too, parents have such an awesome responsibility, a blessing. So we thank you for our children, but we thank you also that you are there when things are not going well, when there is discontent, arguing. I pray that you with every parent out there that can hear me, just God be with them and encourage them, love on them as they raise up sons and daughters for Christ. I pray that so. I pray that right now we put every concern, everything that breaks our heart, everything that just bothers our mind, we put it right at your feet. You're capable of everything and able. And so because of that, we can just give it to you. Put peace in our hearts and our mind. Thank you for being with us here. We give you all the honor and praise. Thank you, Jesus. Amen. 17. Better dry crust with peace and quiet than a house full of feasting with strife. A prudent servant will rule over a disgraceful son and will share the inheritance as one of the family. The crucible for silver and the furnace for gold, but the Lord tests the heart. A wicked person listens to deceitful lips. A liar pays attention to a destructive tongue. And they're always looking like, what's going on? Whoever mocks the poor shows contempt for their maker. We have to be compassionate. Whoever gloats over disaster will not go unpunished. Again, that's another. Our heart should feel something when we hear about fires in Maui and fires in Canada and the earthquake that came through here. I don't think anybody was hurt, but be bothered if you see somebody that's not affected by such a tragedy. Okay? Because it says right here, whoever gloats over disaster will not go unpunished. Children's children are a crown to the aged, and parents are the pride of their children. Eloquent lips are unsuited to a godless fool. How much worse lying lips to a ruler. A bribe is seen as a charm by the one who gives it. They think success will come at every turn. Whoever would foster love covers over an offense, but whoever repeats the matter separates close friends. A rebuke impresses a discerning person. More than 100 lashes a fool. Evildoers foster rebellion against God. The messenger of death will be sent against them. Better to meet a bear robbed of her cubs than a fool bent on folly. Evil will never leave the house of the one who pays back evil for good. Starting a quarrel is like breaching a dam, so drop the matter before a dispute breaks out. That is not always easy to do. Acquitting the guilty and condemning the innocent, the Lord detests them both. Acquitting the guilty is like letting them go, and then condemning the innocent is where an innocent has to pay for something that's not right, it's not fair. It doesn't fit. So the Lord detests them both. Why should fools have money in hand and buy wisdom when they are not able to understand it? A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for a time of adversity. One who has no sense shakes hands in pledge and puts up security for a neighbor. Whoever loves a quarrel loves sin. Whoever builds a high gate invites destruction. One whose heart is corrupt does not prosper. One whose tongue is perverse falls into trouble. To have a fool for a child brings grief. There is no joy for the parent of a godless fool. A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. I know this. Too much time in depression, my bones ache, my body hurts. And somebody mentioned that today, and I couldn't help but to agree with them 100%. So be around joy, like-minded people, people that love the things that are pleasant in God's sight, which are all good things for you. The wicked accept bribes in secret to pervert the course of justice. A discerning person keeps wisdom in view, but a fool's eye wanders to the ends of the earth. A foolish son brings grief to the father, and bitterness to the mother who bore him. Even imposing a fine on the innocent is not good. Surely to flog honest officials is not right. The one who has knowledge uses words with restraint, and whoever has understanding is even tempered. I like that one because he's basically saying, even though I know everything, or I think I know everything and I have the answer, it's not always polite. It doesn't look good. You come across very arrogant, like pompous, like all puffed up. So it is better to keep restraint, and it will have more effect. It will hold more an example of strength and wisdom, because that's the easiest, the hardest thing to do is to keep silent. And then whoever has understanding is even tempered. When you're seeking peace and a compromise, you're even tempered. And a person that can control their emotions is one you want in your circle. Even fools are thought wise if they keep silent, and discerning if they hold their tongues. I pray you are blessed as always. I hope you have a good day. Take care. God bless you. Bye.